Hello everyone and welcome back to the Land of Beer in this episode of Gnomoria. We last picked up, we were working on building up our base up here. We were knocking down the hill for some terraforming to start building our town center and things like that. One of the things I did off camera here is I customized our tracked items. So now you can easily find out how many pine logs and planks and things like that you've got. Along with still showing the food and drink, and you can obviously see that we're very low on drink. Our gnomes are very unhappy because we have no beer. And how are we the land of beer without any beer? So we're going to work on that this episode. We're also going to try and get our cloth industry going so we can get some more bandages and things like that. I had a recording going and it kind of crapped out on me. So I had to revert back to a little bit of an older save and pick up again. So we're going to try this again and see where we end up. So let's get started. The first thing I want to do is I want to start with building a workshop here for our clothing or for our cloth industry. Since we don't have any looms or chairs, we're going to have to build those. But it's going to be important to get this industry up and going because we're going to need bandages for when our gnomes get wounded, which will happen. We want to make sure that we're in the third day of summer here, so we're going to get attacked several times during the summer. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to need to build a tailor. So we already have a bone needle. We just need a table and chair. So we need one table, one loom, and 2 chairs. So let's go over here to our carpenter, and let's just queue those up here real quick. We're going to make out a pine table here. 1 table. We're going to make up 2 chairs, and we're going to queue up a loom. There we go. Alrighty. So now our carpenter's going to get working on crafting that. We're probably going to cancel this crate job for now because I do not want... I didn't want that crate job taking over everything else. I want to make sure that it doesn't override the rest of our jobs. Since we have a couple crates here getting queued up, they tend to work on the quickest project, and that'll be kind of the quickest project for them. And I don't want it to override what we need to get done. So let's go ahead and take it off pause here and get this started. The next thing we're going to work on, we're going to build a workshop. We're going to build a distillery. So we need 1 more barrel, and then we need another table. And this will allow us to brew beer and other sorts of drinks. Let's go ahead and just make a stone table here in our stonemason. Actually, we should wait till we get this done, because I do not want the stone tables being used for this project accidentally. So we go to our carpenter here, and let's go ahead and queue up another barrel, because we're going to need that. There we go. And actually what we can do is we can cancel this job here and build a distillery. And the nice thing about this is I can say instead of any barrel, I want to use only pine barrels. Instead of any table, I want to use granite tables. So now it'll wait for those materials to be available before it uses them. Now this workshop down here is still going to use the first available table, which will probably be a pine table. So we got to watch out for that. We want to make sure it doesn't accidentally use the wrong material. So we'll just give that a minute here. So we have a bone carver, we have a butcher shop, of course we've got our furnace. Our rancher's kind of chilling around here. These guys are knocking this hill down so we can use it for building our hospital and building some more areas. We're going to need to expand our wheat farms here pretty soon because that's going to be a pretty big deal. See if we have any woodcutters available. Let's go ahead and fell some trees so we can clear out some more room here. As long as it doesn't take away from our current projects. Alright, let's go ahead and clear some of those trees out of there. So, let's find out where everyone's at here. We also need to start collecting up all this stuff laying around. So what I'm going to do... Right now we have everybody training on a full schedule. So let's move that around. And make them kind of staggered just a little bit. So that gives us somebody to haul things around and things like that so we can get it put up. Because we do not need golems spawning. While it's fun and it's easy combat experience, it's not something we really want to run into if we can avoid it. So we're going to let them go around and collect things for us. She's going to collect up a whole bunch of food that she can in that wheelbarrow. You see her running around. Of course, we only have one gnome apparently that's still awake. So that's fun. The other thing we're going to work on here We're kind of queuing up a lot, but I want to get torches put in here. And I don't know if we only have 5 torches. I'm not sure how much coal we're going to have, but I want torches put in here so we can start moving our gnomes downstairs and our barracks here towards their sleeping quarters. Let's see here. Where's our carpenter? Sign. Where's our carpenter at? Oh, she's upset. And so sometimes your gnomes will get upset like that. And they just kind of wander around this room, and eventually they'll come out of it. I'm not sure why she's having so much trouble over here. Eventually they come out of it. It's just a long time before they do. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. I want to get this distillery up and going. So we're going to build this tailor, and we're going to make sure it says... Oh, I can't. Okay. Alright. Well, we need the loom first. Because that takes our raw cloth and transmits it into workable cloth. So let's go ahead and just craft a granite table here. Our stonecutter will run over here, craft this granite table. There's... Oh, she's just collecting materials. She's collecting all this raw materials around. So our stonecutter will make this table for us. So once that's done, I think we'll need one more barrel for our distillery here. Move that to the top of the list. So we might cancel this wood job just because since our carpenter's being kind of silly right now. Let's go ahead and cancel these jobs. Let him just finish that out. Let's go ahead and designate a farm. Let's designate a farm over here. That way we can increase our wheat piles. There we go. Oops. There we go. So that's a little bit, that's more squares than we really need for this farm, but it'll be okay because they'll work on it. And our woodcutter fell asleep here. The good thing is we're going to have this hill knocked out here pretty soon. We still got squads training, so that's good. Like I said, we're going to just need to pick up materials and things like that lying on the ground. Pick up all this raw wood, all the different raw materials. So let's designate another stockpile over here. And let's just make this for pure raw wood. Wood logs. Alright, so we got 5 torches in here. So let's go ahead and move our gnomes underground. As soon as I remember exactly which ones we have. I got a naming scheme, and I think I might end up renaming our gnomes here in a second. I'll show you how I do the first couple. And it's really pretty quick, but in a list like that, it's hard, unless you remember your gnome names, it's hard to know who does what. So what I like to do is I like to, on the end of their name here, so this is my carpenter, I just like to put a little 2-digit, or 2-letter identification. So it says Winslow CA for carpenter. We'll do, this one will be a little bit longer because we have that secondary thing. So this is a farmer brewer. And this one will be a farmer cook. And we just go down the list here and knock them out. But what I want to do is I want my monks. I need to know which ones my monks are so I can set them to be in my barracks. I think we have 6 of them total. So that'll take just a second here. Should have done this off camera. I'm sorry, guys. Oops, somebody said they were dying from lack of thirst. Apparently he can't get to the he can't get over to our well. When he gets bad enough, he will. So look, Ivar's already there. Tink, let's go ahead and get Tink up. I feel like that should be one of our leaders. Tink. Of course, he was on the first day of summer. She was our new addition. Let's see. So you have to refresh this population window for them all to come back. So we're missing just a couple here. And so what this does, this just allows me to easily identify what that gnome, what their job is, and why they're there. So I know, hey, that's a monk. Why are they not training? Or, hey, that stonecutter's not doing anything. What's going on here? And, oh, hey, we don't have any raw materials. I should fix that. Or apparently when they just get upset, they stop working, which is kind of a random thing. once we get better quarters for our people, that'll take care of that. So then, like this list here, all of a sudden we can say, okay, stonecutter, miner, yada yada yada. Oh, there's a monk. And let's see here. There's a personal quarters. There's a monk. And so that'll just assign all of our monks into different jobs here, or into different rooms closer to the front actions. So they'll sleep here in these little personal quarters, and we'll decorate them up with statues and change the floors and really really make them look good in a little bit. We just need to kind of make it through this first little bit. Let's get our last monk quarters, and we're also going to have to move those straw beds in here. So that'll be the next thing we're going to take care of. So let's go ahead and get this last one. There we go, Mac. And let's build furniture, build a torch to fill that one. Alright, and let's build furniture straw bed here. There it is. And once we build these beds, we can deconstruct the other beds, because we won't need them anymore. At least not for a while. And hopefully we can get into making cotton beds, and once I'm going to work on getting a merchant here pretty soon, we can get some alpacas and we can get wool. And that'll really help our industry out and our sleeping out. Wool beds are about the best ones you're going to get. It does have quite a bit of value to it, but it also, better sleep makes them need to sleep less and work more. So with all the projects we've got going on, we need our gnomes working. So let's see here. We've got Tink. We can deconstruct that one. And Ivar and Mech. So those three there we can deconstruct. We'll just go doot right down the line. Let's see who else we got. There's Zilpen. We can do that one. And Pacmon. We'll go ahead and deconstruct both of those two beds there. There we go. So they'll work on that project as well. See, these guys are going to get some drinks and going to start constructing some straw beds downstairs. Probably starting in his bed first. I mean, why wouldn't you? Forget those other guys. I need my sleep. Eventually, once we get this straw, once we get our industry going up here, we'll have some more straw for more beds. We're gonna do some put some straw down, because when you fall down, you don't want to fall on the hard ground like that. That's just not very pleasant. You want something soft and easy to take the fall for you. So that's gonna take care of it. Okay, look at that. We still don't have. Okay, well, our tailor's built with the wrong materials, unfortunately. We'll just go ahead and tell her to deconstruct that. Let's go ahead and build workshop, cloth, loom. I had her build the wrong one. So once we deconstruct this, that table should be free up for that. We're going to cancel some of these other jobs going on in this carpenter so we can get some of the stuff done. So we're going to cancel torches and sticks and barrels. We'll cancel everything. First thing I need is a loom. I need looms almost immediately. The next thing, I need one barrel. One extra. Nope, I don't need that extra barrel. I already have 2 barrels. So a loom. A loom is what I need. And probably a chair. We'll craft 2 chairs. We need those done. And luckily, they don't have to go for our materials. Here's planks. Here's that. And look at, they're filling up this over here. Too bad we don't have any extra crates lying around. We could take care of that, but that'll be okay. Okay, so we got our distillery made. Do we have, let's see what kind of fruit we have. We don't have much lying around in the way of fruit, but we do have some grains. So let's go ahead and craft 64 beers. We want to keep 64 wheat beers on stock. Unless you like the, real heavy stuff, a wheat beer will be good for you. It'll be nice and hoppy. I don't really know. I don't I don't drink much beer. You give me a good cider, I'll take care of it. But unfortunately, I don't do much with beer, so I would not fit in this town. Or maybe I would. I wouldn't drink all of our stocks up, If we're trying to sell this kind of stuff, I wouldn't be the one drinking all of our materials or all of our goods. I mean, who wants to have an employee that's going to drink you out of business? And so we got several people looking. They're gathering all this dirt up. They gathered all this wood up. We need a couple crates over here, but I need that loom first. As soon as we get that built. Let's take a look. And what does that need? I need 8 planks and some sticks. Well, that was probably my biggest problem, is I didn't have enough sticks. go ahead and grab. There we go. Let's go ahead and craft those sticks. And then we'll jump to getting the rest of these planks crafted and we'll rebuild it. So once our farmer is done over here, he'll start brewing us some beer. So that'll work out for us. We're going to have a couple different dirt piles. And we'll kind of rearrange some of the stuff as we go. We've got a couple beds down here, so that's good. They deconstructed some beds up here, so we can go ahead and remove those rooms, those tiny little one rooms for them. We're going to go ahead and kind of clear the rest of this stuff out here. What's her name crafting now? Looks like she is. That's good for her. I could use her. Not being upset. It makes a big difference. She's our carpenter. Looks like we got our loom built. That's good. So let's move on to the next one here. Workshop cloth tailor. We need we still don't have a pine table, but we got a pine chair and a Stumpert the Forker bone needle. We need that Stumpert, you know, the spirit of Stumpert. He's gonna be with us always. In our beds. And our clothing. Oh, we need a lot of sticks for that one too. So let's go ahead and set pine sticks. We want to craft 4 pine sticks. And let's just leave that as a standing order because we need the pine sticks. As soon as I get this table for this order here, we're going to put our crates back in and build some more crates over here for storage. So we kind of clear some of this out. You've got a lot of pine clippings and stuff, or a lot of clippings around. We're going to make some groves here in a little bit. Fortunately, we don't have anyone to really make cloth for us, but let's go ahead and craft 32 bolts of cotton. And let's designate an area, a stockpile here for cotton bolts. Let's go ahead and make that cloth, bolts of cloth. Yep. And we're going to designate this for raw cloth fibers here. And those can be stored in these bags that we just kind of chilling over here. So we're going to move these bags to over here. There we go. The other thing we're going to do, there's kind of a neat little trick here. If you do a designate area and you do a guard area, you can, let's do an example out here real quick. I can say designate area, guard area here, and then I can designate a stockpile around that so that these two stockpiles will always be linked. They will always have the same materials, the same settings, the same priorities. So if I wanted to, I could click over here and say I want to edit this priority to be a priority 1 and I want it to be, let's just say raw cloth. So I did that clicking down here, but if I go and then click up here, look, it's raw cloth and it's priority 1. Well, we can change the settings, we can change what we want to stockpile, all of that, and it doesn't have to touch. So something like that is really good up here. What I like to do is I do a designate area and a guard area right here. And I like to keep my bandages just right here at the front line. So I like to put one continuous storage here for cloth bandages. And we're just going to call this barracks bandages. And that's going to be a high priority because we want to make sure that that one gets stocked quickly. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to need to build a couple crates up here to store these bandages. Even though we don't have any on hand, we're going to want to get some pretty quick up here. So now that one, you can see the 2 squares light up on both sides there every time I mouse over it. That means that is you know, kind of like this. It links up blue. It's the same thing. That means it's one storage. One stockpile. So that's a really fun thing to do sometimes. You know, you can link up multiple areas so that so you only have to edit it once and all of them carry the same orders. It's the same priorities, the same settings. It can be pretty handy sometimes. So let's go ahead and fill these couple squares in here. There we go. So we got our second wheat farm going up here, as you can see. They planted all the available seeds. They've tilled all the ground, so that'll be pretty good for us. As soon as our farmers get done through here, we're gonna start forward. Hopefully, they're gonna start foraging this out for us. But they're just kind of taking care of what's available here. They're gathering up some supplies. They got to till some more land and plant some more seeds up here, so they'll be busy for a little while. What we're going to do is we're going to undesignate this little plot of land here soon. and just expand our farms out here for a while until we can get these trees knocked down and get some of our stuff built up. But like I said, what we really need is we need to get this loom going. So let me... our rancher is just kind of the catch-all for everything. We're going to go to our rancher here. And we're going to give the rancher the cloth skill. Like I said, our rancher is just going to be kind of a catch-all. And we're going to move that priority up. Let's move that to priority 4. Like I said, mostly we're just kind of waiting for the next goblin attack. I don't see any goblins on the map here. We got a bear running around. You know, and it'll alert us when we got some goblins, when one of our guys spots them. But we're hoping that through all this training and all this effort that we're gonna have at least a couple of these guys survive. So what do we have? We have a miner, and a stonecutter just kind of sitting around chilling out. What do we need over here? We have a tailor. It's missing a granite table, which is not what we want. We want to cancel that. Oops, we want to cancel that job because we want a pine table for our tailor. Workshop, cloth, tailor. So look, we have a pine table, we have a pine chair, and we have a stumpert bone needle. We want that. Right there. Alright, so somebody's going to work on building that here. Perfect. Perfect. So we got our distillery going. As soon as our farmers are done, we'll have some beer and stuff like that working out. We'll get some more drinks going. So we've got 15 drinks right now. So it looks like they've been working on making us some beer. And we got some yak milk going as well, so here's our rancher slowly working on that. And so our tailor, we're going to work on crafting bandages out of cotton bolts. And we're going to need to craft a lot of these. So we're going to do 64 to start with, but we're going to get more as time goes on. We're going to end up with a lot of bandages because that's a very important thing for us. The other thing we need to do is we need to get some torches out here so we can see at night. Which means we're probably going to have some coal. So let's go ahead and just get a couple torches there. Let's see. I'm not sure how much coal we have. Let's go over here to our carpenter. Let's go back to our torch. So we have a little bit of coal. Let's go ahead and craft that back up to 5. So we're going to put some of these orders back in our queue that we had on there earlier. So they keep them on hand. They keep supplies on hand. It kind of, you see an instance where sometimes you have to cancel that other one because it keeps building these other jobs. But that's mostly because I've got too much going at once. You know, I'm trying to build crates up here. At the same time, I'm trying to build looms and chairs and things like that. It gets to be too much. Sometimes it overloads the poor gnomes. It overloads them so much that it doesn't work. So, at this point, I think we're pretty good. We're going to need to make some 4-poster bed frames and stuff like that after a while. But I like to just get alpacas for that. I don't like to waste the time with cotton beds if I can avoid it. Since we're running a little bit slower on this one, I need to get a merchant in. Let's go ahead and get our stonecutter busy here. We're going to make a couple statues out of marble. Let's make 2 marble statues and let's make 2 granite statues. And then we're going to designate an area for personal quarters, and we're just going to move it like right over here. Make a little 5x5. Of course, we don't have a guy for that one yet, so we're going to build statues. So that's going to be his room. He's just gonna sleep there. As soon as we get an ambassador in, so let's go ahead and send for an ambassador. So we just have to go to diplomacy, and we go to the East Kingdom because that's our it's a friendly one, and we just hit host ambassador. It says it takes about 2 days and 17 hours. So, you know, by the 8th day of summer, we should have an ambassador show up. And then soon after, we'll get a merchant here, which will be really nice. We can start trading goods and supplies. But for that merchant, we're going to need 3 tables. 1, 2, 3 tables. And we're going to need a market stall. And so let's build that. Let's build that over here for now. We're going to move all this around after a while. Like this is all going to be underground, and everything's going to be all taken care of after a while. We're just going to start here, getting things going. So I'm still waiting for them to forage this stuff out. I'm not sure why they're not doing it. Our farms are pretty well taken care of. I do see that they're working on that. We got a rancher and our farmer working over there. brewers working, so they're doing their workshop tasks before they can handle this foraging duty. So that makes sense, I guess. Kind of slows me down just a little bit, but that's okay. I can make it work. I can easily make it work. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and build terrain wall. We're going to slowly start working on some stuff here. While they're busy doing that, we're going to go and we're going to work on building our first aid station here. And so we're going to go, our first aid station is going to stretch quite a ways. I accidentally clicked the wrong button there. Alright, so our first aid station is going to quite a ways. So we're going to have a road that stretches out, you know, these 3 blocks all the way through. So this block here, we're going to have like a fence, and we're going to have a little mini garden behind it. So it looks to be, I want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to do that. But we're going to pick up on that in the next video. Talk to you later, guys.